Alrighty, welcome to BPM Bullets per Minute. My name is James Swan, and I'm going to be running Skuld Clear All Rooms on Easy today. What that is and what that runs down, I shall cover right here for you, just to give you a basic rundown of the category of the character and what you'll be seeing for most of the run. So, the character we're going to be playing as is Skuld. Skuld is one of the 5 characters that were added in the latest patches of the game. These characters were not present the last time BPM was at a major event, which was, I believe, back in 2021, so a lot of things have changed since then, and Skuld has quickly become a fan favorite character, not just because of her power, but also because of her challenge. Her health is constantly ticking down over time, so you are always on a running clock. You can only replenish your health by buying more health or by destroying enemies. So, keep that in mind as we're running. We're always on a clock. We always have death right at our doorstep. Now, we do have some spells and ultimate abilities that will aid us on our way. Skuld's ultimate ability is Sigrun's Help. That allows us to spawn in a chest at any point that we can then open, depending on if we have a key or not. That could change certain things, depending on the chest we spawn, but that does allow us to have, honestly, a lot better RNG for a lot of our Skuld runs, especially longer runs like a Clear All Rooms run. Our secondary ability is the Mortal Curse Mark for Death. It's very useful against bosses because it stacks on top of itself, and what it does is it slowly ticks down enemies' health over time. And, well, when you're able to just stack tick damage on top of itself, that speeds up quickly. Now, what is a Clear All Rooms run? Well, that simply means we're going to be clearing every single room in the game. Any room that can show a room cleared message, we're going to be clearing it. There are certain rooms that we don't clear in an any percent run unless we absolutely have to. Those are challenge rooms and boss challenge rooms. We would only clear those if we absolutely needed some health or some specific money or items, and we're really gambling on those, but you'll almost never see those in an any percent run. However, in a Clear All Rooms run, we have to clear those rooms. The only rooms that are exempt from that are gambling rooms, because those rooms are not a guaranteed spawn for enemies. Now, we'll cover more as we get into the run, but for now, we're just going to jump in to this run in 3, 2, 1. We're jumping right into Asgard. It's going to take a bit to load. This is a procedurally loaded game. Everything is random. Every floor is random, every enemy is random, nothing is the same in any two things, unless you're playing the Fixed Seed Fixed Items category or the Fixed Seed Random Items category. Then you can get some of the same stuff. I will be jumping right at this boss room because I'm hoping for a crypt store later, so we will hopefully not have to backtrack and take this boss door later. And hopefully this is just me being smart and clearing this boss early. Every boss will drop a key, and every boss room will spawn a chest that gives us a stat or clip upgrade at the end of it after defeating a boss, and obviously the next door down. And that gamble paid off because at the other end of this room, we have a door down to the crypts indicated by those stairs, so we will be going down there as long as I remember to save one of my keys. Now, one thing you may have noticed is we don't have a starting pistol, we've got a starting Garand. It's a pretty powerful gun. It can carry us through the entire game pretty easily as long as I'm able to keep my rhythm, keep myself on tempo. Love to see the gold bracelet. That does exactly what it says. It will drop more gold for us from enemies, and that will be very useful for a certain room in the crypts. It's known as the statue room. We can put up to 50 gold coins into it, and Each one of those gold points will give us a stat increase or a ammo increase in our weapon. So, one of those things where it's just very nice. But that is the first floor down. We have cleared all of the rooms, we have cleared all the bosses and the challenge room. So now we head down into the crypts. We're looking for that statue room, we're looking for the boss room, and we're looking for another room called the well room. The well room will have 4 items, we get to choose one, and they're usually pretty powerful and can help us out. There's also a guaranteed armory spawn on this floor if we choose to swap out our weapon with something else that we could purchase, but we're going to focus on getting coins for the statue room because, well, the Garand's a pretty powerful gun. It's the only gun in the game with a 1-beat reload, and that's pretty powerful on its own because reloading quickly helps us go quickly. There will be other opportunities for us to get better shields and boots down the line, especially since we are doing a clear all rooms run, but for now we're into Vanaheim, we're out of Asgard, and in Vanaheim we're really just looking to get through these floors as fast as possible, hoping for small floors and no boss rooms, or no boss challenge rooms, I should say. equip later. Into Vanaheim 2 in 8 minutes, not the best pace in the world, but I'm also not primarily a clear all rooms runner. I primarily run any percent and multi-character categories, so I'm honestly pretty happy with that for a clear all rooms run. We're picking up the Helm of Rage there. That is a helmet that allows us to do more damage when we have perfect rhythm. You can tell our rhythm by the indicator in that top right corner of my screen. And that indicator, once it gets up to 4, means we will be doing a lot more damage. Sorry for the pauses and the awkward tones. I'm trying to do my best to commentate and speak at the same time. And when you're trying to dodge all these bullets and everything, while also commentating and also staying on beat, because you gotta do everything on rhythm to actually do anything in this game, it gets a little complicated to stay focused sometimes, so hope you'll be a little forgiving on that. Gotta sadly backtrack again, but that's the reality of clear all rooms. If you find that boss room and you haven't cleared the rest of the floor, that's just what you gotta do. Sadly, out of these to be able to use that demon statue, most demon statues take anywhere from 1 to 4 keys to be able to give you an item. I'm going to drop 1 in there right now, see if we get anything. Celestial Wave, I will take that to see if we can use it. Celestial Wave will help us because it's basically a screen wipe. We don't really have the boots to go with it, but we might be able to make something work. It will certainly help us with clearing rooms because doing a lot of damage to all the enemies in the room at once certainly helps. The sad sacrifice that we do have to make in exchange for that, though, is we do have to give up our mortal curse. We cannot mark things for death anymore, but that's life. Getting a few more items there and showing off that wonderful room sweep there. Though some of these things do seem to follow Nintendo rules occasionally, that being, if it ain't on screen, it don't exist, and don't seem to take damage from it. It just seems to be how it is with this game. You just gotta make sure that you're getting as many of those enemies on screen as possible whenever you use it. Trying to make sure you use it whenever an enemy isn't in their invulnerability phase. And honestly, trying to avoid those invulnerability phases if you can, but with our current damage output, a lot of these enemies would be entering their invulnerability phases anyway. Aside from guys like those enemies who you saw in Vanaheim, who would sadly not be in their invulnerability phases. So we'll do a little bit of give and take there, keep on moving. I will check this shop very quickly, see if we get anything better. Oh, we got exactly what we needed. Those trampling boots are exactly what we were looking for to make our Celestial Wave even better. This will finish off enemies on low health. We're doing high damage, and that other item we picked up is called the Battle Line. It allows us to go not necessarily off beat, but as you can see, we're going a lot faster now. We're able to do things on a much lower cooldown. The takeaway from that, though, is or at least the downside is, it's a lot harder for us to charge up our meter for the rhythm if we lose it, because, well, we're on a different rhythm now. But, thankfully, we're doing pretty well. The spell we just picked up there is an ultimate called the Celestial Drumroll. It's really darn powerful, and basically just does a lot of hits to an enemy really quickly, or multiple enemies in a room. You know, with how fast we're moving, I'm not too worried anymore. This might actually be my PB for a Skuld Clear All Rooms run at the pace I'm moving. Just jump right into that door. 1425. It'll be pretty close. Helheim is a difficult floor because Helheim, well, it's always guaranteed to spawn with at least 10 rooms, which means there's a lot that we gotta go. Which also means a lot of backtrack. But with Celestial Drumroll and the wave at our side, we might be able to make some pretty quick work of this and hopefully be through it pretty fast. Taking no risk with that room. That room's just staying for now. Got a very big Helheim load, which is not great. Sadly, probably not going to show up. Well, I might actually be able to. Come on, sir. Come on. Charge me, buddy. There we go. Got to show off the Cert quick kill there. It was, in fact, faster for me to kill him like that. We're going to run over here real quick, and we're going to grab the Giant Slayer boots, just because they will allow us to do even more damage to the final boss of the game. Needhog, he's a big old dragon, and this just allows us to do, I think, like 3% more damage to him or something like that. I can't remember the exact amount, it's a lot. Damage is good. Damage is important. So, let's see if we can do a lot to him here. Already below half health thanks to the Celestial Drumroll, and we're just spamming him with bullets here. 1703, that's pretty darn okay. Not my best, not my worst, I don't think. But that's what we got out of a Skuld Clear All Rooms on Easy Run. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope my commentary wasn't the worst you've ever heard. Not the best at commentating while running, but I just love Skuld so much as a character. They're so much fun to run. One of the easiest characters to get into with BPM these days, especially if you want to get into BPM speedrunning. They're just a natural speedrun character. They've got a very high survivability rate, just great items, great weapons to carry him through. She is just a wonderful character to play, and she just is so satisfying. If you enjoyed the music that's been backing this game, shout out to the composers Sam Houghton and Joe Collinson. They created the entire soundtrack for this game, and they are friends of the BPM speedrun community. They're in our Discord all the time. We've even got an emoji of Sam's face. It's a little weird. I try not to think about it too much. But I will also say this. Shout out to Josh Sullivan, one of the main devs of the game as well. Also a friend of the community, so they are wonderful. They have helped form the BPM speedrun community and the BPM community itself as a whole. We love them, they're great. And all that said, thank you for watching.